Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here. We're back, part 122 of our Skylanders Giants Blind playthrough. We are now complete with our new lander upgrades. Part 121, we upgraded Swarm. That video was pretty long for a couple of reasons. Number one, I griped about the cable situation. Long story short, I don't have internet, haven't had it for quite some time. It's been slow for a lot longer than that, and we won't have it for quite a bit longer because of the cable company. If you want to hear more about that, watch Swarm's upgrade video at the start. But issue on Swarm, I only have one, unlike Crusher here, where Granite Crusher was available and picked him up, or Tree Rex, where we had 3DS and Wii, Bouncer, Legendary version, etc. Made it really hard for me, and you have to remember, just like the new landers, the Giants, all the Giants I have been box stock, and everything you've seen done, they have zero upgrades. So with that said, when I come in and buy, the third upgrade for Swarm, and it's Swarm form, that's the first time I'm experiencing, so I don't know, like how much damage it does, how functional it is in gameplay. That's actually why we went in and I did that heroic challenge, just to kind of see, help me make a decision. The reason I say blind playthrough, I don't watch other videos. I don't know, if that path would be awesome, if it would be horrible, how great it is, how bad it is, etc. I kind of like everything to be new to me when it can. That kind of adds to the fun. So I'm one of those people, I kind of like to pave my own path. That said, I do use the blog polls in this case since I hadn't upgraded them. And like I said, it was 35-33 there. Crusher, a little bit different of a story. Let me pull them up here on my phone, mind you, since we don't have internet. Also of note, these paths these polls should be open. They closed. I didn't have time to adjust them because I didn't know the internet was going to go completely away and stay away for this long. But I will, maybe tomorrow at work, I can get some time on break or something, open them back up. I'll run them until I'm done with the upgrade path polls, and then probably leave them a week or so. It'll help the people that don't have a character or haven't upgraded them or something. But Crusher's upgrade paths, you've got Rock Grinder, that's kind of like your hammer attacks, and then Rubble Master, it's kind of his boulder type stuff. It's a 11 vote margin, and so far everyone that's voted is in favor of Rock Grinder, 40-29. So it's a fairly decent margin. It's not near as tight. I mean, we had 2-3 votes on Swarm. So that said, we're gonna back out here. This is Crusher. He does have the future hat on. I think that's plus 20 speed, but looks really good. What lights up on him, the little shoulder belt where there's kind of like the 3 geodes or gems in it, they light up a nice green, and then his eyes are like a really cool blue. Looks good with the lights out. Going back to the unboxing videos, Crusher I always said was like my favorite aesthetically immediately, bearing in mind I hadn't seen all the Giants, Then we did his heroic challenge in the introduction, and I kind of lost my instant fondness for him, just in regards to his base attacks. The issue with his heroic challenge, it's a cakewalk when you have someone with a projectile attack, but when you're taking a box stock Giant, particularly Crusher, who has no projectile attack, it's kind of a pain to do, in all honesty. I mean, we could take Swarm box stock through there and do fine. Bouncer, he could just breeze through it like butter through a knife. I mean, it's a knife through butter. But Crusher, just with that lack of that distance attack or a projectile, really hard to hang on to the owls. Actually can get it done. Then if you add the future hat, it makes it a lot easier, just having the extra speed. But and also, I mean, bear in mind, most people are going to do some upgrades or get some heroics done before you do it. But if you just got Crusher or Granite Crusher and you want a challenge, taking box stock through his heroic challenge, and yeah, it can be done. I did it. The extra time helps out a lot, but it's one of those things, it's just really annoying, That said, he looks awesome, very menacing. As you should know, Earth Element is my personal favorite. Flashwing definitely did not disappoint in her upgrade. She kind of goes along Terrafin, Dino Ring, Bash, Prism Break. It's, I don't know, just for whatever reason, I'm real fond of all those characters. They perform great for me, and they usually have sweet armor and great attacks, very well balanced in my opinion. But that's what he looks like. We're going to come in. He's really bad about dropping frames when I use his hammer, you know. But
wow, those are big numbers.
Indeed they are. I want to take a look at his stats, and you'll see why here in a minute. And I did kind of allude to this, but armor 27, the 13 heroics. I think his was actually speed, wasn't it? I know it was Givahoot. I think it was speed. But anyway, like, I did all the speed heroics with them that I had at the time. I think a couple more, like Wrecking Ball and some others, have speed that I haven't done on all the Giants. But anyway, we'll back out of there. And again, pay attention, armor sitting at 27. We'll take a look at his upgrades here, and then when we upgrade Granite Crusher, I won't read all this to you again, we'll go straight to Persephone. But what he has right now is Crusher's Crusher. Again, that's the name of his hammer if you missed the introduction story in the unboxing. But press A to swing the big hammer, also named Crusher. Turn to stone. Press B to shoot I-beams that turn enemies to stone. And again, I love this attack. I mean, before I'd played with him, I thought he was going to be killer. I think he still will once we upgrade him, but just that particular heroic challenge is very ill-suited for himself in his stock form. That does have a decent range on it, but I mean, in all honesty, I'd say it's like a shade past the reach of his hammer, so nothing to write home about. If that was like screen encompassing, it would be ridiculous. But his first upgrade is actually going to be called Ground Grinder. Hold A to hit the ground so hard it makes a crack in the ground that damages enemies. That one, I think, alone would make his heroic challenge easier if it has like the reach to get to the trolls before their guns hit you, or rivets, or whatever they shoot. Next one is actually his tertiary attack. It's called Rock Slide. Press Z to break apart into boulders running over anything in their path. You probably remember that from his like Soul Gem video and all the official releases on him. Next up, Super Crusher. You can tell there the hammer's changed aesthetically. Hammer does increase damage. And lastly, his final base upgrade is going to be called Cave Light Blast. I'm pretty excited about this one. While holding B, that's obviously the button for the secondary attack, press A to launch a pulse of energy that damages enemies. So, again, distance, range on it, I don't know yet. We're going to find out. Now you get to the point where you are picking a path for Crusher. This top path is going to be, I believe, Rock Grinder, and then the bottom will be Rubble Master. But essentially the way this one begins, like so many Crusher combos, press AA, hold B for hammer throw. You're not quite sure what that would entail, and then AAZ for 360-degree spin. I'm betting that thing does a crud ton of damage. It's kind of like Bash's tail. Next up is Hammer Daddy. Hammer takes the face of Crusher's father and does increased damage. And then lastly on Rock Grinder, you've got Triple Ground Grinder. Hold A to hit the ground and make 3 cracks appear to damage enemies. So that's again Rock Grinder. It basically gives you combos, increased damage with your hammer, and then it basically takes that first upgrade and you're multiplying it by 3 essentially. Rubble Master, on the other hand, kind of addresses his tertiary move, and you've got Controlled Rock Slide. Control the direction of your Rock Slide attack, kind of similar to what you saw with Bash. Then Boulder Bombs. While in Rock Slide, press A to detonate boulders. Not quite sure how that one would pan out in game, but it sounds like it'd be really cool even if it didn't work well, you know. And then lastly, as I allude to so many times with the earth element, Bedrock Armor. Special rock from deep within the earth provides increased armor. So again, these three, you basically get the armor, you get to control the rock slides and detonate the rock slides. That's going to be his Rubble Master Path. And then the combos and the hammer and then the triple ground grinder is basically going to cover rock grinder up top. His soul gem now is called Rock Sliding Out. Hold the Z button to steer rock slide boulders around. Issue I have here, having done no upgrades, that sounds an awful lot like control the rock slide, control the direction of your rock slide attack, and then soul gem, hold Z to steer rock slide boulders around. I'm assuming this one's going to have a little bit more control, and maybe you can, like, I don't know, make them run in circles and then left, right, whatever. It sounds like this one might be limited to maybe you've got enemies coming in from the left and ahead of you, you can pick out to take the ones ahead of you or something. Kind of really hard for me to know without having played or seen anything there. But basically, I've got two issues. Number one, I really like the look of Crusher as is. Even his hammer I kind of like. The box stock one. It's not going to be a big deal to add the spike or the face of the father. But my logic here, I'm actually going to take Crusher down Rock Slide. I know that probably seems weird because you'd think I'd take the special Granite Crusher down this path to get the armor. I'm afraid if it's really going to be gold, I would then not like Granite Crusher. Granite Crusher's kind of got like the stealth look. He's blacked out, black and blue. One of my personal favorite color combinations. And I don't want to mix gold in it. You know, I mean, if it didn't be gold, or if I knew that it was going to make Granite Crusher's armor be like a blue color, I would probably do it. But I mean, this decision is almost purely aesthetic in terms of which character gets which path, you know. Again, if I knew what that would look like on him ahead of time, or that it would be blue or basically just not gold, I would probably flip them around and I'd let Granite Crusher get the armor, because to me the armor is that big of a deal. That said, I think the top path might be a little better. Again, it was up, what, 40 to 29 in the poll. But really, with me having not played any of them, it's hard to say. So let's go take a look at some of that stuff and see if we can figure it out. Again, here's a look at him. Tell you what I'm going to do. Let's get that hat off. I don't know how you take a hat off.
This rocks.
No. I think there's a no hat button. After you start, maybe. There we go. I don't know why you can't just click that, but this will give you a good look at him. It is going to slow him down quite a bit. Well, not too bad, really. Can't take much of a difference. Get that, because it's important, you know. Anyway, again, Giants, just like the Newlanders, need 8,520 to upgrade. You got your base 4 upgrades, 3 on the path you select, and the soul gem comes out to 8520 with your 20 wing sapphires. If you've completed the game, you don't have the 20 wing sapphires, go find them. Pays off, literally. So we're going to come over here again. Here's a look at him. That is his base deal. It looks more impressive than it is. It doesn't have the distance. I really like it though. And then the hammer, which drops frames.
It's crush hour.
I don't know what's. I guess that's an in-game glitch or something. Anyway, you know what it looks like. I don't know what
Ready for
happened
another
prior to
magical
that.
upgrade?
I'm glad that was recording. Actually, usually I get all this random crud like that happens and it's not recorded. So we'll go ahead and upgrade here. First up, we have Ground Grinder. Hold A to hit the ground so hard it makes a crack in the ground that damages enemies.
Rocket.
You know, with him, I'm half tempted to buy these base ones. He's got his hat back on, too. We clearly took that. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it, like, reset him or something. I don't know. I've got visions of the Weapon Master in my head, and it's not pleasant. Anyway, we'll just do that, do these base 4, and then take it from there. Again, when you see something locked, That's the soul gem. It's just because we don't have this tertiary attack first, so it's kind of like a precursor, so prerequisite, if you will. Rock slide. Press Z to break apart into boulders running over anything in their path.
Rock on.
I wonder if the hat will like come off when we leave or something. Anyway, we'll pick up another one. This is where the hammer will change. Again, I think you got a good feel for what the hammer looked like just from when we were pacing around. But hammer does increase damage. Obviously, it changes the look too. So,
Rock on.
doesn't look too bad. Kind of a nice like steel. It looks like it just has a giant sheet of, like half-inch plate or something. Finally, we will get his last base upgrade, which is called the Cave Light Blast. While holding B, press A to launch a pulse of energy that damages enemies. I'll grab that. Just so we don't have to see the cutscene again, I'm going to go ahead and take him down Rubble Master, just because I don't want to see gold armor on an otherwise like stealth character like Granite Crusher. So we're gonna
Rocket.
Alright, now let's get out of here. Mainly I want to see if the the hat stayed. Let me try. Guess we'll need to come back over this way. First things first, we got the little blade gear. Where was it? I guess you have to charge it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of see where it was that time. He's really hard to position like him. Have that trouble with the giants.
Yeah.
Here we go. Covered the entire screen. That basically is going to be his projectile attack, I think.
Yeah.
It's also going to be hard to control that one. I'm trying to see if I can angle it towards the stairs and use the control stick. You can't. It's basically going to go out just straight in line with the tip of the hammer, so you know, nothing too crazy, but the hammer will do increased damage now. And then come over here. There's his little deal, and now okay, I can't really appreciate that. Okay, so you can't like rapid fire that, but I mean, I guess it's cool. It at least got a little attention. So. Oh, forgot to do rock slide. Here we go. Here's his tertiary attack. So that's just kind of like a self-destruct. I don't know what kind of damage it'll do or anything, but we will find out.
Welcome back. Ready for another magical upgrade?
No, we just came here for the heck of it. Okay, anyway. Control the rock slide. Control the direction of your rock slide attack. That kind of seems counterproductive. I kind of like it just being like omnipresent in every direction. I don't know if it's gonna like pop up and be like, which way would you like to go? Oh, let's yeah, I don't know. I don't understand that one at all. Boulder bombs. While in a rock slide, press A to detonate boulders.
Rocket. Ha-ha. Reform.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Ha-ha.
So you've got to actually do it while you're apart. You can't like wait till the last second, which is what I was hoping you can do. Take a good look at him here. Again, I took the hat off, but the game, I guess, decided it was such an asset they put it back on for us. That's a really good look at him. I don't know why you can't get that anywhere else, but you can see the detail on the hammer. You can actually see the Earth Element logo there on his little, I keep calling it a shoulder pad, and it's, you know, kind of not doing it justice, but you know what I mean. But what I'm getting at is this armor, the bedrock armor, is going to change things, so we want to kind of keep tabs on that. There's the Earth Element logo again there. It's a pretty sweet little detail. We'll come in get the bedrock armor, see what it does color-wise.
Rock on.
Oh yeah, I would have been ticked if we got this on Granite Crusher. It doesn't look horrible, you know, but like I just wouldn't have liked it on Granite Crusher, the gold. I'm not a fan of gold in anything aside from like, you know, value, but you know, in terms of like wearing it or jewelry or fashion or Skylanders, it just, I don't, particularly on this character, I don't really care for it. Doesn't look great on Crusher himself, but I just think it would have looked worse on Granite Crusher, basically, is my logic. Keep in mind the future hats there. It's kind of like a Spartan look helmet. You know, maybe like monolithic, so I don't know. We're gonna quit yakking and just get the soul gem here. So, rock sliding out, hold Z. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Guess I wasn't paying attention, but hold Z to steer rock slide boulders around soul gem and troll horn security. Costs 2,400. We'll have 103 left, which will get us nothing from Ark. Let's get out of here. We've got him maxed out now. Let's do this. We'll do his. There's a little pulse. He basically just like rocks his head back. You can get 3 of them. It looks like before it runs out. Base hammer attack. Nothing crazy, but it'll do increased damage. If you hold the A button, it'll shoot that little gear out. Again, since we did the Rubble Master, we just have one. You're going to tap the Z button, and you see him kind of go apart there in all directions. I'm now going to take the control stick and move it kind of diagonal away from Callie.
I'm totally rock. Reform.
Oh, I'm holding Z. So the soul gem is cool. Let's try that. I'm not going to hold Z. Okay, basically, here's what that first one on the path did. I'm going to stand right here on this red square and press Z. He blows up in all directions and he comes right back. Now, when I press Z, I'm going to take the control stick that moves him around and I'm going to go back towards Ermit and Callie. So I'm going to tap Z and go up. It basically, you know, you can get like a running start. It's almost pointless in my opinion. Really wish they would have like tacked on something to go with like his turn to stone, you know, secondary attack. Then the cool thing though, when you hold the Z button, well, let's do them in order, I guess. If you tap Z before he comes back together, press A, everything blows up. So now we're gonna go back towards Callie. Well, let's try that again. Then you can kind of control where you go. But the coolest part of it really is the soul gem, which we're gonna get down the other path anyway. But we just hold the Z button, and then you use the control stick, and you can just roll. And see how long we can actually go. Pretty good time. I don't know if enemies can damage us while we're doing that. If they can't, that'll probably be devastating. Particularly, we'll come over here to Callie and hold Z down. Head over this way, head back, and A button. Blow up. So, the good news, if you take Rock Grinder, his other path, you still have the ability to do all that with the soul gem minus the explosions. I guess that gold isn't horrible, but I mean, he was just a character that looked really, really good as is, in my opinion. It would have been nice if we got like the increased armor without the color change, in my opinion. But speaking of that, if you recall, took you into his stats at the start of the video. I would have to agree with him there, looking solid. It was at 27 on armor, and it is now 67, so that's plus 40. In all honesty, that outweighs the gold color, you know, in my opinion anyway. But I was afraid to put it on Granite Crusher. I don't think it would have looked right. So let's try to get a look at his range. I guess that little pulse of energy might go out a little bit farther, but I don't know. I think he'll be. I mean, obviously he's going to play a lot better now. Uh, but what we'll do, we'll come in part 123. We'll hit Granite Crusher, take him down Rock Grinder, which again, people that voted have plus 11 on the poll. And then we'll kind of be able to do our compare and contrast. That video won't take me as long, so that is regular old Crusher. Looks great box stock in my opinion. In terms of aesthetics, box stock does not play well due to his lack of a projectile, if you will. Again, that's addressed with his first upgrade, kind of, so take it as you will. Really, he plays pretty good. It's just that his own heroic will really kind of like put a sour taste in your mouth, and then if you don't give him another shot or shake down in something else, you might be disappointed. But main reason I didn't use him more, I did quite a bit in like the elemental areas, but out of all the characters, he is pretty much the worst in terms of dropping frames. Tree Rex is also pretty bad. Again, if you're not recording, none of that matters. If I wasn't recording, I would have Crusher in the mix all the time just because I thought he was cool. But I don't know what it is about that hammer, and then like Tree Rex's fist pound, they're real bad about like dropping frames. And then the commentary doesn't sync and everyone thinks you're crazy, so I just try to avoid it. But that said, I'm not a big fan of the color of the armor, but to me that is really the highlight of that path. Plus 40 armor, always big, almost a staple with the earth element. It's either going to be the soul gem itself or tied in with one of the paths. Unfortunately with Crusher, it was tied in with the path, but the good news is, since it's gold and I don't like the way it looks, Granite Crusher doesn't have to have that, but the plus 40 would have been nice for him. Other big perk on that path is I think you can explode the boulders. I don't know what damage that'll do. I actually don't know what damage the boulders will do yet, but essentially you get a 2-for-1 there, so that's kind of a sweet deal. Base upgrades, nothing really stood out that much to me. I think they'll kind of be served better when we get like that triple grinder gear down Rock Grinder. So we'll take a look at that. We'll have to see how like the face of the father and the hammer turns out, making Granite Crusher look. But again, hopefully this helps you out if you were torn on what path to take your Crusher or Granite Crusher down. You've seen this one now. I'm going to come right back in. We'll take Granite Crusher down the other path. You can kind of watch that video and then make up your mind. You'll probably like one more than the other, and then that way you don't have to do like I did with Swarm and not know what to do. So that said, again, thanks for watching. Assuming I get internet, I'll upload these videos. Until then, I guess I'll just have them as my own personal archive of myself doing things that I don't watch. But like I said, Crusher looks cool. I think he's going to be quite a bit more fun to play with all these upgrades under his belt. So questions, comments you can ask on YouTube. However, quicker response, I suggest you use the blog oneofwisdom.blogspot.com. You follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. I do hit the blog, Google+, and Facebook very often. Only extenuating circumstances when I don't have internet, so keep that one in mind. In those cases, Twitter is your best bet. It's the easiest to use on a mobile device. So that said, we're going to come right back in here, get Granite Crusher knocked out, have some fun with that. So again, thanks for watching. We'll catch you back, part 123.